Trump is accused of violating the ceasefire once again, triggering Iran's instant fury. Iran launched an attack on a US base in retaliation for fresh American strikes. A panicked Arab nation rushes to activate its air defenses as waves of missiles and drones begin swarming its airspace, turning the skies into a live war zone. Kuwait's army sounds the alarm and scrambles its batteries, desperately trying to shoot down incoming projectiles. Trump's desperation for a political and military win may once again be putting Arab partners directly in Iran's revenge path. The United States has confirmed that Iran shot down an MQ-1 drone and responded by launching retaliatory strikes, escalating an already volatile standoff. US Central Command says it carried out what it calls self-defense strikes against Iranian targets over the May 30th to 31st weekend, framing the operation as a necessary response. The targets reportedly included Iranian radar installations and drone command and control sites in Gorak, inside Iran, as well as on Keshem Island in the Gulf. According to CENTCOM, US jets destroyed Iranian air defense assets, a ground control station and at least 2 kamikaze drones poised for use in future attacks. The same statement stresses that no US soldiers were harmed in the latest operation, a point Washington is keen to underline as tensions soar. Almost in parallel with CENTCOM confirming strikes on Iran, a key US ally in the Gulf came under its own barrage of incoming missiles and drones. Kuwait's army announced that its air defenses were actively confronting hostile missile and drone attacks, signaling a real-time battle over its airspace. Officials told residents that any explosions they heard were likely the result of interception attempts, as defense systems tried to detonate projectiles mid-air. However, the Kuwaiti military did not immediately provide details about where the missiles and drones originated, leaving room for speculation and concern. This was the second attack on Kuwait in less than a week, after Iran had earlier struck a US-linked airbase on its territory in a direct show of force. Tehran claimed that previous strike was a retaliation for earlier US military action near Bandar Abbas, casting its moves as part of a tit-for-tat campaign. Subsequently, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps declared that it had targeted the very airbase allegedly used by US forces to launch attacks on Sirik Island. The IRGC insisted that its retaliatory operation destroyed pre-designated targets directly linked to those earlier US strikes, portraying the attack as precise and calibrated. Over just 3 days, Iran has claimed to have shot down 3 US aircraft inside its own airspace, a dramatic escalation that raises the risk of direct confrontation. Iran claims it shot down a US MQ-1 Predator drone after the aircraft allegedly entered Iranian territorial airspace and waters. Iran's IRGC said the incident occurred during the early hours of May 31st, according to statements released by Iranian authorities. State-run news agency IRNA reported that the unmanned aerial vehicle was flying above Iranian territorial waters before the incident. The IRGC claimed the MQ-1 Predator crossed into Iranian airspace while carrying out what it described as a hostile operation. Iran said the drone was detected by its air defense systems shortly after it allegedly entered restricted and closely monitored airspace. Iran described the aircraft as an aggressive US military drone operating near sensitive areas along its coastline. Iranian officials said the incident demonstrates the country's capability to detect, track and respond to alleged airspace violations. The IRGC warned that any future act of aggression or violation of Iranian airspace would receive a decisive response. Iranian air defense units reportedly intercepted a drone near Keshem Island for the second time on May 30th. Iranian army defense units detected the incoming aircraft before successfully intercepting and destroying it, Tasnim reported. Iranian media alleged the drone was a US-Israeli surveillance aircraft operating over the Strait of Hormuz. The downed UAV was identified as an orbiter drone, Iranian military officials told Mer News. The US-Israeli drone reportedly entered restricted airspace that oversees one of the world's most sensitive waterways, Hormuz. Iranian state media IRIB later released dramatic footage showing remnants of the destroyed drone's wreckage. The wreckage of the eliminated drone could reportedly be seen washed ashore after being brought down by Iranian forces. On May 30th, Iran also claimed that a US aircraft had been shot down in Bushehr province. However, CENTCOM denied Iran's claims that any US aircraft was destroyed near Bushehr. Fresh Gulf tensions erupted after Iran claimed it shot down a trespassing American drone near the Bushehr region. Iranian media said the drone was intercepted near the southern province that hosts Iran's sensitive nuclear infrastructure. Tasnim news agency cited military sources claiming Iran targeted the American drone with a missile strike on May 29. Fars news agency reported Iran's integrated air defense network immediately confronted the aircraft after detecting the alleged intrusion. Officials said the operation involved air defense systems stationed near Jam and Kangan inside Bushehr province. Iranian media reports claimed search operations later began to locate debris from the reportedly downed American aircraft. However, the US military strongly denied Iranian claims that any American aircraft had been shot down near Bushehr. US Central Command stated all American air assets were fully accounted for following what it called false Iranian reports. The Bushehr region had previously faced attacks during earlier US-Israeli operations targeting Iranian military and nuclear-linked infrastructure. Notably, Iran's Bushehr nuclear power plant is jointly linked to Russian and Iranian nuclear cooperation projects. Iran's IRGC says it has released a video showcasing its response to the May 27 attack launched by the US military, using the footage to signal its readiness to retaliate. According to the IRGC, its forces struck a US airbase in direct response to a reported American attack near Bandar Abbas, framing the move as a calibrated counterblow. Tasnim news agency reported that Tehran described the strike as an answer to US aggression, portraying Iran's actions as defensive retaliation rather than escalation. Press TV reported that the strike was announced in a statement published by the IRGC, which laid out the group's rationale and attempted to justify the action as a measured, intentional response rather than an impulsive escalation. The IRGC said the attack took place at 4:50 a.m. and described it as a serious warning, using precise timing and stark language to emphasize the message was deliberate and meant to deter further actions. Iran stated that the strike was retaliation for an earlier US military action near Bandar Abbas, portraying the operation as part of a tit-for-tat cycle meant to punish what Tehran called unlawful or provocative conduct. The IRGC warned that any further US aggression would be met with a stronger response, signaling a commitment to escalate proportionally if it perceives continued threats, and underscoring the danger of a widening confrontation.